Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this video on the Pisces new moon. This energy is magical. It is incredible for manifestation. And I actually see this new moon as one of the most potent new moons of this year. And I'm going to explain why as we dive in. So before we do that, I want to share a warm welcome for anyone who may be new to me. My name is Kara. When I do these cosmic energy readings, I'm studying the planetary shifts. So I always look at the astrology. And then I'm also a certified Akashic Records practitioner. So I open up the records and always allow more guidance and insight to come through in how we can work with this energy in the highest timeline for happiness, for the impact you're here to make, for the freedom that you're here to experience. So if this is something that resonates with you, be sure that you subscribe. I would love to support your journey. So before I share my screen and we look over the new moon, I want to share deeper insight into the Piscean archetype. This new moon is happening in the sign of Pisces at the very early degrees. So 1 degree. We have the moon and the sun conjunct in Pisces. And the Piscean energy is the final sign of the zodiac. So even though this is a new moon, and especially at the 1 degree mark, very potent for manifestation, very much about a new beginning, Pisces, by its nature, also is about the cyclical nature of life. It's about completions that lead to new beginnings. And there's certainly an element of closing off of certain chapters and seasons of our life that are coming through with this new moon. Now, Pisces is also a mutable water sign. I see it as one of the most sensitive, intuitive signs of the zodiac. So during this time, we are very connected to the emotional realm, to the power of our emotions, to the power of feeling, to the gifts that our intuition gives us. Your intuition is a connection to the wisdom of your soul. So when you trust your intuition, you can be guided to the right path for you, the right people, the right opportunities. And Pisces teaches us to trust. It is about trust. It is also about surrendering to the flow of life. And that's where the mutable aspect really comes in, especially as a water sign. It's just like go with the flow. And what I've always found interesting about Pisces and what kind of differentiates it from the other water signs of Scorpio and Cancer, which of course are unique in and of themselves, but Pisces is represented by the 2 fish swimming in opposite directions, and it doesn't have a protection. So with the Cancerian energy, we have the crab, it has the shell. Scorpio has the stinger. Pisces is like wide open. Wide open. And this is why it also brings to the forefront the discussion of energetic boundaries, because it can be this energy that really just absorbs what's happening around us. Now, so these are things we all want to look at, regardless of whether you're a Pisces or not, what those energetic boundaries are like. What is your relationship to your emotion, to spirit, very, very spiritual energy. And these 2 fish swimming in the opposite direction represent the light and the shadow, which is part of our human experience. We all have a shadow aspect. We all essentially are connected to the light. It also represents the physical and the spiritual. So we are here in human form, having a human experience, navigating life on this earth plane, and we're a spiritual being at the same time. And Pisces brings both of those energies together, and it speaks to how we navigate that, how we move through life, and maybe the obstacles and challenges that can be part of this human experience when we know there's so much more at play as well. Now, the lower octave expression of Pisces, all archetypes have a higher and lower octave of expression, or a shadow expression, and this holds true for the zodiac signs as well. So in the shadow expression, Pisces is about escapism. And this is why it can be connected to addiction as well. So looking at where that may be playing out in your life, where are you escaping? And this could be endlessly scrolling on social media. It also, again, speaks to addictions, drugs, and alcohol. Where are you escaping or trying to run from feeling your emotions and really embracing the fullness of life? Because when we numb certain emotions, it also numbs other emotions. So what I mean by that is if we're trying to numb feelings of sadness or overwhelm, in not allowing ourselves to feel that, we also then make it harder to feel joy and pleasure because we're just not open to that full range of expression. There's like a block there. So looking at just what this means for you at this time in your life, where maybe are you escaping or running from feeling what needs to be felt in order for you to fully expand and move forward, because after Pisces season, we move into Aries and it's a new cycle. So I'm going to pull up the chart here to show you where some of these energies are happening. So we have the moon here and the sun 1 degree in the sign of Pisces. So next to this is Saturn. It's an out of sign conjunction, but we have Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. So this is why I said this is one of the most potent moons of this year, because the effects are going to be very long lasting. Saturn is getting ready to wrap up its trip in Aquarius and move into Pisces for the first time in 30 years. Saturn takes about 2 to 3 years in each zodiac sign. So moving into Pisces, this new moon is paving the way for that move of Saturn as well. And this 1 degree mark is also very significant because on and off throughout 2023, Saturn is going to be in that position. So wherever this is falling in your chart, your unique birth chart is also very significant as well. If you're uncertain, I know there's so many aspects of a birth chart. So in my Divine Creators Inner Circle, one of the courses that I have in there helps you understand your unique birth chart and where to find these different aspects. So you know where the new and full moon is happening, and you also just begin to gain a deeper understanding of how to read your birth chart as well. So with Saturn here, this also changes the expression of the Piscean energy. Pisces is very dreamy. It's very imaginative. It's a very romantic, magical, creative, feminine energy. Saturn is more about the masculine. It's about structure. So this new moon brings forward the question of how you can bring your wildest dreams to life, instead of just leaving them in dreamland, right? Because that can be an expression of Pisces too, like all these ideas and dreams, but they're just a fantasy that are never realized. And I think that doesn't have to be the case. As humans, we are powerful creators, and you get to live out your wildest dreams. You really do. You're so powerful. Your dreams, your desires are placed in your heart for a reason. They are a glimpse into what is written in your Akashic records. You are able to claim them. And Saturn brings us back down to earth, back down to the reality of it. So these energies together are about what decisions do you need to make? What changes need to happen in your life for you to actualize your dreams? There needs to be work. There needs to be decisions. There needs to be a structure that supports you in creating what you desire to manifest. So this energy here is very helpful, even as an out of sign conjunction, very significant. And again, because I see this new moon is paving the way for Saturn's move into Pisces, which also speaks about practical spirituality. How you use your spiritual knowledge and tools to support you while you are here living your best life. So an example of this is we don't, say you meditate every day, which I'm all for, and something that I also do as well, if not a couple times a day. I love to take time for meditation, but we want that to translate in our life. So that feeling of calmness, that relaxed nervous system, that groundedness, that connection to our higher self, you don't just want to experience that when you are meditating, you get to experience that as you move through your day, right? As you interact with other people, as triggers come up, you can draw on those spiritual tools, and that's what we desire. And Saturn in Pisces is going to be teaching us that over the next few years, and we're beginning to feel that with this new moon. This is also, even though Saturn's coming in and it's bringing that element of like the discipline and the structure, there's a lot of peaceful energy here for you to lean into as well. So I actually want to take a look at Venus and Neptune, also in Pisces right now, but at the later degree. Venus is at 29 degrees. Shortly after the new moon, it's actually moving into Aries. Neptune here at 24 degrees. So opposite end, but still in this energy of Pisces right now. And on the 15th, we had a powerful meetup between Neptune and Venus, which opened up this portal of creativity, this portal of forgiveness. And this message is coming in through the records right now as well. Who do you need to forgive in your life? What do you need to forgive in your life in order to move forward? When we don't forgive, we carry a lot of baggage with us that eventually weighs us down, and we can be bombarded with feelings of anger or resentment or the notion that this shouldn't have happened, and we're just carrying that heaviness around with us. And this new moon is like, let it go, release it. Think of like mutable water energy, it's flowing. Release what doesn't serve you, let it go, so you can feel lighter, you can feel more free. I do think that's the vibe of this new moon as well. There's a lot of peaceful energy there. Now, another thing I want to speak to that isn't directly interacting with this new moon energy, but it's still just jumping out at me. So we're going to take a closer look. We currently have Mercury in the sign of Aquarius. And at the time of the new moon, it's forming a trine to Mars and square to Uranus. Not exact, but very, very close. Enough where I consider it. Enough that I take it into consideration. So this is about honoring your ideas and being able to move forward with them. So Mercury in Aquarius invites you to think outside of the box, to be original. And I always help my clients with this. I always remind them that like someone else's path isn't your path. Let's look at your path. Let's tap into your records, the records of your business, your unique astrology, to find what's going to work for you, to look at how to reach your goals, how to live your karmic path, how to live your best life, like coming back to you. And Mercury in Aquarius is about embracing our uniqueness, being different, and embracing original ideas, like creative ideas to old problems, like just thinking outside the box. And that trine to Mars really helps with that, especially with Mars now moving direct. It's like that forward momentum finally picking up. And that square to Uranus really brings in this element of originality as well. Like embrace what makes you unique, be unique. Share something unique with the world. And you know how you share something unique is by honoring your truth, honoring your journey, honoring your authentic self, and then being bold and brave enough to share that with the world. The last aspect I want to touch on that is exact here is a sextile between Pluto and Venus, both at the final degrees of their signs. So February has been a month of closing of cycles and like a beginning of a new cycle that we're really going to be stepping into in March. So there's just reflect in your own life. What karmic chapters are coming to an end for you? What are you now moving into? And yeah, sometimes this involves big decisions and big changes that we make in our life. Other times it's about living up to what we know is truly possible. Like allowing ourselves to claim what it is we actually want unapologetically, living out your best life and whatever that means and looks like for you, and knowing you're not too much, you're not asking for too much, your dreams get to come to fruition, and what needs to happen in order for that to be your reality. And this speaks to like maybe there's a closure of you can no longer entertain the belief that you aren't worthy, you aren't good enough, or things that I work through with my clients a lot around money and abundance, that money is for other people and you can't do what you love and make money. Maybe it's time to put closure to those beliefs and start remembering you are more powerful than money. You can do what you love and earn abundantly. Like, what does this mean for you? What are you putting closure to? Sometimes it's to those old beliefs or old ways of showing up. Sometimes it's an invitation to really up our standards here. Where are you putting up with things in your life? Where are you allowing certain things to continue that you know are not honoring what you really want or who you are, not a reflection of your highest timeline? You get to do your part in saying no more, putting an end to that, right? And Piscean energy reminds us that we can set boundaries from a space of love and from a space of empathy and compassion for the people around us. And yet it's still so important to have those really strong, solid boundaries. And that's what Saturn is initiating us into in this energy. So that is our Pisces new moon. Share with me below, what are you manifesting in these energies? And if you would like to join me for the new moon in Pisces ceremony, I'll attach the link below. We do new and full moon rituals all the time in my inner circle. And in that space, you also have access to my top digital courses. So I talked about the astrology one. There's also a course on creating an abundant relationship with money, on growing your business through accessing your Akashic records, on mastering manifestation through tapping into your blueprint. It's an absolutely incredible spot with more energy work, meditations, and trainings added all the time. So that link is below. Sending you so much love. Enjoy the magic of this beautiful Pisces new moon, and I will see you soon. Bye.